Hey everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. What an insane year it's been for Pokemon card collecting. It's been an insane year for the whole entire world, honestly, but specifically in the world of Pokemon card collecting, we've had our ups, we've had our downs, but I don't think we've ever seen anything as dramatic as 2020 before. Maybe not even since the release of Pokemon cards in 1999 have I ever seen this much hype and enthusiasm for Pokemon card collecting. That's why, since it's the end of the year, I wanted us to take a step back, take out a deep breath, and just recap exactly what transpired in 2020 that brought us to this point. So let me recap that with you guys, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun just to see what transpired in 2020 that brought us to this insane point at the end of the year. I'm gonna do my best to sort of just recap and sort of free-form thought out what I think transpired throughout 2020, but of course, you survived 2020 as well, so feel free to join me in the comment and let me know what your thoughts on and exactly what you think transpired in 2020 to bring Pokemon card collecting to this point. I think this is a super interesting topic and I would love to hear from you. Okay, so at the start of 2020, the world of Pokemon card collecting was pretty much flying high. I remember it being a very exciting January and February with the release of base set Pokemon Sword and Shield, the very first set for Sword and Shield. It was a lot of fun. We had an introduction to a bunch of new Pokemon cards, including Pokemon V, Pokemon V Max, as well as a brand new type of secret rares, which were the full art trainer secret rares, which has never been introduced in Pokemon card before. A lot of it was fun and exciting, and things were going really well. This was also mainly due to Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates was released in September of 2019. It was released for the holiday season, and Hidden Fates was knocked right out the park. It was a wonderful set. It actually made front page news on a lot of different circuits. This was mainly thanks to the Shiny Charizard GX reaching a price point of $10,000, which was really high for a modern Pokemon card at the time, and it's still an insanely high price for a Pokemon card, especially a modern one. So Hidden Fates came out, Sword and Shield came out. The Pokemon card hobby was doing really well. And then in February, COVID hit, quarantine hit, and honestly, it was a super scary time. At the end of the day, Pokemon cards is not food or rent. People can live without Pokemon cards. So what I expected to transpire was that children would go to big box retailers with their parents, and during checkout, the kid would probably ask to purchase some Pokemon cards, and the parents would most likely say no because times are tough, money is tight, they're gonna buy food, and they're most likely gonna withhold purchasing any Pokemon card products because at the end of the day, it's just toys. So I expected Pokemon card sales to really tank in 2020 because it's something that people are going to give up when times are tough. So we know for sure that didn't happen. Pokemon card sales actually skyrocketed in 2020. In fact, most collectibles did insanely well in 2020. Outside of Pokemon cards, think about the other trading cards like sports cards, your basketball cards, your baseball cards, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! All of the trading card hobby really did super well in 2020. So why is that? Well, a big thing that I did not consider was that people were also cutting out a bunch of other stuff. There were plenty of things that people would normally do in 2020 that they were not able to do. Most people are not eating out at restaurants. Most people are not going out to the movies. People are not taking vacations this year. The average vacation cost for an individual is $2,000 for that one vacation. That's $2,000 per person, and that's money people are not spending. So at the end of the day, turns out money was tight, but it wasn't that tight. People still had expendable income and they wanted to use that money on something that they would enjoy. And trading card collecting seems to be sort of like this perfect thing that you can do at home with your kids. It's enjoyable for both adults and kids. It's safe to do at home and it's fully enjoyable. So the hobby sort of was this perfect thing to do during quarantine. And a lot of people joined trading card collecting in 2020. It's really interesting how the psychology of it completely shifted when this is something that you could have always done, and now you're sort of like doing it because you have to, but at the same time people do it because they want to. A really interesting juxtaposition and something that I did not thought of. And once again, I would like to say I was definitely wrong on this, but it was a super surprise for me to see the hobby thriving more than ever because of COVID and quarantine. It's really quite interesting. As the months passed by from February, March, April, May, June, Pokemon card prices were starting to climb higher and higher. The ones that climbed first were definitely vintage cards. Vintage booster boxes, vintage graded cards were climbing significantly faster than modern products, and most people touted vintage as definitely the way to go. Vintage Pokemon card prices pretty much doubled in the period of 2 or 3 months. It was really insane, and so many people were just discussing that this was a massive bubble, and a lot of people were saying, hey, prices have doubled in the past 2 or 3 months. Now is probably the best time to sell. Some people did, some people did not, but in general, prices were really climbing, but things did not really hit the fan until I would say August, September, and October, and that's when prices really jumped through the roof. I'm not too sure what exactly the moment that triggered it, but somehow a bunch of influencers sort of all came out from the woodwork pretty much around the exact same time and decided that they were all closet Pokemon card fans. They've always been Pokemon card fans. Justin Bieber came out as a Pokemon card collector. Ariana Grande has an Eevee tattooed onto her arm. We had Logan Paul, which live streamed a first edition base set booster box opening to over 300,000 people. Then a bunch of Twitch streamers started opening up Pokemon cards. We had guys like XQC, Moist Critical, Pay Money Wubby, Steve Aoki started opening up Pokemon cards. Just all of these mainstream influencers, Twitch streamers, YouTubers, so many different people just sort of decided, hey, we were all Pokemon card fans all along. And this was just really interesting because it sort of triggered a moment in a lot of, I would say, young adults' minds where I think it was always sort of there but forgotten, which was this enjoyment and love for Pokemon and Pokemon card collecting. It's sort of like a trigger moment when a bunch of people suddenly realize, oh my goodness, this was something that I've always enjoyed. I sort of forgot about it, but now I'm an adult and I'm coming back to it. So what we saw in 2020 was a huge resurgence in a bunch of people collecting Pokemon card all at once, and the hobby just went right through the roof. Some of the growth in prices on Pokemon card right now are absolutely insane. 2 examples. First up, I have my man Tim Lee commenting on a video back in May. So this is a great timestamp. Tim Lee said he picked up a 1999 base set booster box Green Wing about 3 months ago. So he picked it up in February for $4,450. And he says that boxes in May were going for $8,000 plus, and quote as saying, this was the best investment ever. You guys know how much a base set booster box Green Wing is going for right now? They're going for right around $35,000 to $40,000. To put that into perspective, that's the same as Tim buying a 2000 Honda Accord for $4,400, and it's been in an accident, by the way. This car's been in an accident. And then at the end of the year, somehow this Honda Accord transformed into a Tesla Model 3. That's how insane it is. And to take this concept a step further, my fellow YouTuber Unlisted Leaf actually went out and purchased his dream car using Pokemon cards as a portion of the purchase. His dream card costs like $150,000. That just shows you how much Pokemon card prices have climbed. To give you guys a little bit more perspective, based on my own Excel spreadsheet, my sealed product collection has average growth of 600% return on investment for 2020. And for graded Pokemon cards, I'm seeing 800% returns on average on each graded Pokemon card. That's average. So what that means is that there are many Pokemon cards in my collection that are climbing faster than 800% this year. There's cards that are showing 2,000 to 3,000% return on investment this year. Insane numbers, and this is across so many different cards at the exact same time. While I'm definitely not a millionaire, this hobby has definitely made many people millionaires throughout this year. So to recap, what happened in 2020 was a series of events that pretty much created a perfect storm that was able to bring Pokemon card back into the limelight, and we are seeing growth in Pokemon card collecting like never before. I want to give you guys some final takeaway. Pokemon card collecting is still a very young hobby. There is still a ton of opportunity and a ton of growth in this hobby. But at the same time, I know what the most common question I get asked is, and that is, are we in a bubble? And I would say yes. It's undeniable that Pokemon cards is currently in a bubble. There are a bunch of people that are currently collecting Pokemon cards because it's simply trendy. And a lot of these people will leave the hobby in the next 6 to 12 months in most cases. There will be some people who are going to stick around, who are going to be hardcore enthusiastic collectors, but that's the minority. Most people are only collecting Pokemon cards because it's currently trendy and they'll move on from it. And like most hobby, that is natural. There will be ebbs and flows, there will be periods of growth and retraction. Now, while I say that Pokemon card collecting is currently in a sort of bubble, that's really hard to say when it'll pop or deflate. Will it really deflate in 2021? That's difficult. 2021 is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, and there's a ton of Pokemon related activities happening next year. You got Pokemon Go, you have a bunch of games that are still unbeknownst to us that are going to be released, and a bunch of other stuff that's happening that's going to make 2021 pretty much an insane year for Pokemon. So I don't know if the hobby is really going to decline next year. So timing is really important here, but I'm not too sure when we're going to really start to see a decline. It could be years out. We could see growth for the next 2 to 3 years before we really see any sort of real retraction or decline. So it's hard to say when things will really start to calm down. But overall, I'm going to be here for all of it. I'm going to enjoy the ride. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys join me on it because this is the most fun and enjoyable hobby I've ever been in. And the community has been incredibly welcoming. As soon as you're a new collector and you're asking questions or two, there's usually someone that's willing to help you out. The Discord's been great, the Reddit's been great, the forum has been great. So many helpful places for new fledgling Pokemon card collector that I honestly think this is definitely the best time to start collecting Pokemon cards. In general, it's been sort of in a wild year. I don't think this recap really did it justice. So if I missed anything, or if I made a point that you disagree with, definitely leave me a comment and I would happily read it. So thank you so much for watching. It's been a wild year and I can't wait to see what's gonna come up next. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.